Hey you! I'm so glad you're here today. I'm Jenny Prochko from Owls and Indigo, and I make videos about spirituality, journaling, the moon, mental health and awareness, and my story. Today is the November spirituality question. So there's definitely still time for you to ponder this question when you do your monthly review at the end of November. And if you'd like to see what questions I asked myself, I'll leave a video up above and down below of my November plan with me, which includes all of those questions that I ask myself every single month at the end of the month to review and see how I'm doing, see what I've learned, and just to see where I'm at. This also helps my mental health, and it definitely gives me pause for reflection, which I feel like I don't have enough time for in my life, and it's something that I have a hard time making time for and taking the time for. So it's kind of built into my routine this way with it in my journal. The reason that this video hasn't come out until now is because it was emotionally taxing for me to do this journal prompt. Honestly, I did the journal prompt with the intention of reflecting immediately on camera to you to share the journal prompt and to share my answer, and I couldn't do it. It was just too hard. So I needed to give myself some space, and now I'm ready to share with you my answer for the November spirituality journaling question. November's spirituality question has to do with shadow work and getting to know your inner self. It's been a really interesting journey to journal this and to reflect on it. And I think you'll find a lot of insight into yourself and just some realizations that you didn't realize were there when it comes to getting to know yourself better and to work on connecting with your soul and your spirit. So the prompt for this month is describe a person you have a strong negative reaction to and their negative qualities. After you do that, erase their name and replace it with your own, and ask yourself for each point, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this? And if you don't have the answers, just wait. They'll come to you. So for me, this journaling experience was really unsettling, and I was very, very surprised at how it made me feel and how sad and anxious and just disrupted I felt. I also felt more and more ramped up as I worked my way through this journaling prompt. But I did have some revelations at the end of this, which is the whole point of this exercise. I realized what my values are and the standards that I want to hold myself to and that I've been holding others to. And I also had the revelation of recurring themes that are happening throughout my life. And then I realized after all of this, I've got some major work to do on myself. I just had such a shakeup when I did this journaling exercise. So now I'd like to share with you what my answer is. I ended up having 9 points of the person that I was describing that I have a strong negative reaction to. And after I erased their name and wrote my own, I ended up writing, I, Jenny, don't take care of my home and my body and my health. And I didn't realize how important those things were to me until I erased the name of the person that I was having this strong negative reaction to, and wrote in my own name and realized like the standard that I hold myself to and that I was holding other people to. And sometimes that's not always fair, depending on the standard that you're holding people to. After I removed their name and placed my name in front of this negative description of them, and then reread the answers to myself as, I, Jenny, do or don't do this negative thing, it caused me to pause for reflection. And I went through each of the 9 points and I wrote down the feelings and emotions that I was having initially. And then after I did that, I wrote out why I was feeling those things. And the reasons were giving me a lot of insight into my truest self and into the way that I honestly deeply feel about my own self, which was a huge, huge revelation. Shadow work tends to give a lot of really big revelations, and it's scary and taxing, and it's just difficult to get through and difficult to recover from as well after you do these journaling exercises. So the emotions and the feelings that I was experiencing through this journaling practice were uneasy, ashamed, panicked, unsafe, embarrassed, mad, hurt badly, very sad, not thought of, forgotten, shocked, scared of how I'm perceived. And those themes just kept repeating themselves and repeating themselves and repeating themselves through each of the 9 points. And if we go back to that last one that I shared with you, I, Jenny, don't take care of my home and my body and my health, which is not true. I do, but I still have a lot of work to do when it comes to the standard that I hold others to. I need to either practice what I preach and actually do those things in my own life and really take that to heart, or I need to let this standard and expectation go of others, and I need to realize that they are human and I am human, and that my expectations are just a little too high and sometimes can be toxic. That one, I was feeling embarrassed. And the reason that I felt embarrassed in my journaling prompt was because my pride was hurt, and I want people to know that I care and that those things are important to me. I want people to know that I take pride in my home and that I take care of my home and I take pride in my body and my health. And it really is something that's important to me. It was interesting that I felt embarrassed, and I think that has a lot to do with my mental health struggles and just the normal pressure that we put on ourselves when it comes to interacting with others, how we're perceived, and the expectations that we hold ourselves to, and the expectations that we have of others. That was really telling for me, and I was surprised that I was embarrassed and that my pride was hurt. And I've got some work to do on that. I've been reflecting about that since I wrote this journaling prompt, and it's hard. Shadow work is hard, and it's difficult, but it will help you a millionfold. It will help you understand yourself more, and it will help you understand if you've been just unrealistic with your expectations of yourself and with others, and just putting too much pressure on yourself and others. So that is the spirituality prompt for this month and my answer. I'd really love to hear what your answer is. If you can share it down in the comments down below or email me, I'd love to hear from you. I love getting emails from you. It's amazing to get to interact with you on a much more personal level and to just have an actual genuine back and forth conversation. It makes me smile, and it just warms my heart whenever I get these messages from you all. I'm very, very grateful and thankful to have you as a community, and to know that I'm not alone when it comes to mental health struggles or just normal everyday struggles. And sometimes I'm just too hard on myself, and I've got to remember that I'm human, and it really helps to have a community to support me, and also have a community that I can support back as well. You can find me over on Instagram at AllisonIndigo, that's where I am most, and on AllisonIndigo.com, where I share weekly spirituality tips, writing and journaling prompts, little tidbits about the moon and how to move through the lunar phases with your goal setting, mental health and awareness, and my story. I'm so grateful that you chose to spend your time here with me today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.